So today we're starting in a new area. Last week we went through the entire foundation, right? The foundational questions that create the where we are, where we're going, and some reality around that. Today we're going to dive into the code. The code, um, and the code is really like probably all people live by a code. That code really is their own personal rules and values and standards that they live by, right? And here we're going to get more specific about the code that the warrior uh, doctrine embraces in the core, the center of what we live by. Um, First is real, right? And real as opposed to not real or unreal, or and the truth about the world these days and the culture we live in is there's not very much real, right? It seems that liars are getting rewarded. Why are we in the epidemic of lying? Is because lying works, right? Short term, right? It gets people out of a situation, and that's something that we are going to avoid. We're going to be real about what is. We're going to be factual. We're going to acknowledge facts and facts only. We're going to uh, be real about how we feel about it. We're not going to suppress. We're not going to sedate. We're not going to run off into some other situation that is not reality. Now, we're not going to Facebook and we're not going to alter what is real to fit our purpose. We're not going to adjust reality to fit our thinking. We're not going to create a story and present it as real. We're going to operate from a place of reality. And that's a lot of what we did earlier, is to get to a place of where we are really. What we did in the foundation work is where are we for real? Like, where do we want to go for real? Who are you for real? What is your belief for real? Next step is be raw. Like, let's not sugarcoat it. Let's not candy wrap it. Let's be raw about our emotions. Like, this freaking pisses me off. Like, this makes me angry. Like, let's not stuff that in a culture where anger is frowned upon, right? Like, for someone to express righteous anger about them being violated, their family violated, is off the table socially, right? But we're going to have the courage to actually express our raw emotion about how we feel about the way our family was treated. We are going to give honest feedback about the way we are going to address uh, things that happen in our life and the way we're going to proceed forward in our life as part of a code. And once again, when you're real, and we're going to be raw about the real feelings, we're not just going to go on in anger like this is our feeling about it. Like, when we talk about just take back a step, like, emotions aren't reality, right? We have to be factual, right? We're going to take the emotions out, and when we get into the raw, we're going to address the feelings there, right? We're going to be raw about our feelings. Relevant. Now, this is a probably one of the key ones for me. Relevant is like, we can be angry, right? And we can go off on a rant of, and we see this all over the world, but um, what is it relevant to the outcome we desire, right? We laid out earlier, we laid out a path of where we are and where we want to go, right? So now the fact that their neighbor pissed in our yard or something, it really isn't relevant to where we want to go, either in any of the areas of our life, right? It's not relevant to our body being balanced business, right? So when we lay out our path, we're not going to get distracted by items and situations of our um, outside of our reality and outside of our journey to our vision. Um, I often refer to the relevant as kind of being the rudder, right? Because it's so easy to go off and address something, be hooked by some emotion or something that someone said or someone did or said something, and that's why we in an earlier one, when we say we're going to be raw, we get those emotions off the table, so we can be objective and say, okay, like, is this relevant? Is this situation, is this current situation relevant to what I want and what I need to get for myself and my family? Results, in the end, that's all that matters, right? Like we talked earlier in the foundation area, like business, like, I can have the situation in my business where I have a lot of pride, I have happy employees, I have great equipment, I have the result, I have the feeling that I've created this giant thing. But in the end, the result is the financial, right? It's the bottom line that that if there's not money in the bank account, we didn't get the result. So as part of the code, we focus on the result, and that's how we determine what is relevant, right? So the once again, the results is the only thing that matters, right? We're not interested in ego. We're not interested in gutter fights on Facebook, right? The results is the last item of the code. So these 4 items, real, raw, relevant, and results, comprise the warrior code. The assignment is go ahead and teach this, right? If you can't teach it, you don't know it. If you don't know it, you can't live it. So complete that with the rest of the assignments listed below, and we'll see you in day 9 tomorrow.